Elevation. Woo! Woo! What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a Movie Emporium discussion / review of Elevation, the newest film from director Greg Nolfi. Okay, guys, here we have a movie called Elevation. I'm pretty sure the only time you've ever heard of it is by seeing it in, of course, the AMC or Cinemark or Regal app. It's a movie that's releasing with no fanfare, and it's a movie that has Anthony Mackie, Morena Baccarin, and, of course, Maddie, Hasson, as well as Tony Goldwyn. It's a movie that is about an apocalyptic scenario where creatures attack human civilization. Think A Quiet Place. And in the process, the character played by Anthony Mackie's son is very, very sick. They need to get medicine to keep him alive because, you know, they're 8,000 plus feet in the air, you know, above elevation, above sea level. And they had to go on a journey. The three of them, Maddie, Hasson, of course, Morena Baccarin, and Anthony Mackie, go on a journey, and they have to evade creatures. So Elevation, once again, is a movie you probably never heard of before unless you're looking through the AMC or Regal or Cinemark app, which is really surprising because I haven't seen a lot of trailers for this. I haven't seen a lot of marketing for this movie. It has a pretty decent director who did like the Adjustment Bureau. It has a pretty decent cast, like I said, with Mackie and Baccarin and so on and so forth. But it's just not a movie that seems like it really, you know, Vertical just really doesn't have the marketing budget for it, which is really surprising given who's in it. But I was intrigued because I do like apocalyptic scenario movies. I think, you know, not all of them are good. Like 99% of them are pretty bad. But there's something fun and something visceral about them in general. So, you know, this was a movie I was able to secure as a screener to watch. And so I watched it like the night before this review. And for an apocalyptic movie, it's a very slow burn apocalyptic movie. It's not a very fast-paced one. Even in the action sequences, there's not a lot going into it because you could tell it's not the highest budget of films. The creatures are not well put together visually, to be fairly honest. They're interesting, but they're not on a visual kind of CGI level. They're not really that great. And it's a movie that just really is kind of there. It's a movie that's going to kind of come and go, and you'll see it on streaming at some point, maybe on Netflix or Amazon or something like that. But you're going to go in, you're going to like, oh, okay, that was interesting. 35, you know, an hour and 30 minutes or whatever. What's next in my day? It's that type of movie, which is kind of sad because it's not like it's the worst I've ever seen. It's just a very bland, boring movie. It doesn't really do anything different. It actually apes stuff like, if you play video games, it apes off like The Last of Us and Horizon Forbidden, or the Horizon series, or, you know, the Walking Dead, or any of these series where A Quiet Place, another good example, which is, you know, the music really feels similar to, but it just doesn't really do anything different. It doesn't do anything exciting. It has very stereotypical characters. It has very stereotypical scenarios. You know, father has to save his son. It has very stereotypical bad guys when it comes to the creatures. It goes very stereotypical ways. It's very kind of, I've seen this and I've done this before type of plot. And so therefore, it's just another one of these types of movies. Like, it feels kind of sad that these individuals came in and they're being paid to do this. That's what their job is. But they came in and do this movie, and they're just not really interesting to watch. It feels like Anthony Mackie's just kind of, you know, going through it bored and kind of tired and doesn't really feel like he's invested in the movie. Morena Baccarin, you know, she has Deadpool money now, so she just kind of does things when she feels like doing them. And Tony Goldwyn, I actually don't, to be fairly honest, I was so bored by this movie, I don't even remember him being in the movie. Like, where he's at, I honestly can't remember off the life of me, but it's just a movie that really attempts to be an entertaining 90 minutes, but doesn't even do that very well. That's kind of what it boils down to. It's something, you know, I was hoping to enjoy, but in the end, I just really didn't. It's not a bad movie, but it's just not a very interesting one. And I don't want to bag on the director, but it was the same way with like the Adjustment Bureau, where a film with Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, and Anthony Mackie, and it was really just kind of a boring, almost nothing burger, to be fairly honest. With the premise, I think it was based off a Philip K. Dick novel, but I just think in the end it's just a very bland. It's not very well shot. The characters are very one-dimensional. The creatures are very one-dimensional, not really great, and the twist on the creatures is kind of, oh, I guess I could have seen that coming. And it's just, in the end, it is there. Like, if you watch it on a Saturday during a rainstorm or a snowstorm, you're not going to be offended. but there are much better apocalyptic movies out there. You know, apocalyptic TV shows. The Last of Us is a perfect example of a great apocalyptic scenario type of show. This is unfortunately not it. So it's not overall not the worst thing I've seen this year. It's not gonna go with my like worst of the year, but it's just a very bland, boring movie. So take that for what it's worth. Anyways, with that said, that is gonna be my take on, of course, Elevation, which will be in theaters and then of course VOD very shortly afterwards. So give it a watch if you're interested. Just be aware it's just not that great a film. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Comments below. What is your favorite apocalyptic movie? Are you looking forward to Elevation? Do you find the content interesting? Tell me what you think. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell. Top the fun is coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.